Hi, my name is Courtney Hughes. This is for Gender Studies 200. This is a self-assessment project. An example of my identities intersecting in my own experience would have to be right now in college. I'm a cyber criminology and security studies major, and that has two elements, one of which is criminal justice and criminology, and the other is computer science and information technology, both of which are two career paths that are heavily dominated by men. And so being that I do identify as female, I feel the constant pressure to prove myself and that I am worth being in this major, just because of my gender, not because of my knowledge or my skill sets or anything. Like, I just feel like that extra pressure to prove myself. And I feel like if I were to be a male, same IQ level, same skill set, and I was pursuing this degree, I wouldn't have to try as hard to fit in or to prove myself. I feel like people would be more accepting. Another identity that I have that I feel really resonates with the whole major and gender thing is my age. I'm really young for being a sophomore in college. I just turned 19 over this summer, and that's a problem for a lot of people. A lot of people view me as not being mature enough, not being responsible enough, not being capable of having leadership roles, not experienced, doesn't have the knowledge, and the list goes on and on and on. And I think that's absolutely absurd. Like, while there are scientific studies proving that the brain does develop at certain ages, there's just something that happens with maturity and responsibility that comes from experience that no matter what age you are, if you go through it, you become more responsible, more mature, more knowledgeable. And I feel like that doesn't have an age limit. I know a lot of people that are very young that act so far beyond their age. And this impacts me with getting job opportunities, being considered for leadership positions, which could necessarily interfere with my promotions in my future in my career. And a lot of times when something goes wrong on my part, I'm blamed for my age because I'm too young and, oh, it was a mistake to begin with. But we're humans, we all make mistakes, and not everything I do wrong is because I'm younger than you. I fit into it for the simple fact that I am a cisgender female, and that's one of two solid options you get in a gender binary society. A way I defy the gender binary would be how I dress. I don't necessarily always dress super feminine. I wear more masculine colors, and I don't always like dressing up or looking super well put together. Another way I defy it would be how I act. I don't necessarily act feminine, so I don't always not always super proper, and I don't always sit with my legs crossed, or I don't know, I'm me. And I feel like that's the way I use agency, is just being myself and not necessarily trying to fit into the gender binary. I mean, I'm obviously knowledgeable of what people think is a binary society, and although I may act or fit into those categories, it's because I feel like it's right for me, not because I feel like society thinks it's right for me. The topic that we discussed in class that I feel like I really resonated with was the conversations that we had about school dress code. I feel like I really connected with this because it's something I dealt with throughout my whole high school career. Even before then, I'll have to deal with for the rest of my life with the career paths and things like that. And I learned that this topic is very problematic. It's very biased against women, and I think it needs a lot more attention drawn to it. I feel like the questions surrounding and ingrained in this topic are so complex and so complicated to answer because it's not necessarily a set of rules. It's all socially constructed, and it's all based off opinion, which might be rooted in political views or religious views, and it's just something that isn't necessarily fair, but no one's really doing anything about. We just follow the rules because it's the rules. Something I can do to help with the ethics and social responsibility objectives for this course and for Indiana State would be to just be an activist for change, whether that be making others knowledgeable of the issues in society that they may not be aware of because they're not necessarily experiencing themselves and they may not see it happening to other people, or drawing attention to it on social media, so more of a following can see it, or even just voting could be a huge catalyst for change. Thanks for watching.